All right, and we are live. So thank you so much, everyone. We would like to welcome you to this new day of our webinar, Let Us Talk It session. So as mentioned in the past webinars, we welcome you again for this brand new Wednesday, as we will have two new topics, very interesting. And we have two new guest speakers that we will introduce to you as well, that will talk about these topics. We are live on YouTube and Facebook as well. For those who cannot join the Zoom live session, you can check on the YouTube channel. Let us talk it, and on Facebook as well. Let us talk it. So this initiative is a free knowledge sharing platform which is initiated by Cogent Integrated Business Solutions, an IT company based in Detroit, Michigan. And they wanted to give back to the community, so they created this Zipinar in order to provide free knowledge, as we believe that knowledge should be free. So we call it Zipinar, if you're wondering, as we try to zip in like a zipper two different topics into one session, just to minimize the time consumption, but to expand the knowledge that you are getting with that short period of time. Now, I am your host. I am Phil, and I will be introducing our speakers today and the topics that they will be sharing to us. So, to start off, the first topic that we have today is how to achieve work life balance as a remote working parent. Now, this has been rampant right now. Like most of us has been uh, engaging into remote working because it gives us more flexibility and versatility in terms of achieving our goals while taking care of those that matters. Now, this topic is about all working professionals who wear multiple hats each day and struggle to keep up with various aspects. And with this webinar, you'll be able to discover different ways to manage life and work more efficiently. And so you are achieving more with less efforts, or less energy consumption. So today with us, we have Ishita Badari, who is a business development manager, and also she's at Hitters and an MBA, so Masters in Business Administration, graduate in Marketing and International Business. And her role involves bringing in new businesses, converting leads through sales calls, and managing budgets. And she oversees a portfolio of hundreds of clients' accounts, ensuring their satisfaction by providing regular daily, weekly, and monthly updates. And over 5 years, she have successfully scaled their workforce by sevenfold. So that's really efficient for such remote working individual. So without further ado, and also for to give the room for her to introduce more of herself, let me introduce to you Ishita to present the topic for the first part. Please take over.
Thank you so much, Phil. Thank you so much, Cogent Ideas, for having me on the stage and considering me for this amazing opportunity. So, I would like to start by asking all of you a question. Uh, how would you like to accomplish 8 hours work in just four, beat the targets, and get promoted? How are you doing so far? Maybe finding it difficult to attain the work-life balance. Perhaps you're struggling to meet those deadlines. Possibly you're stuck with meetings when you don't have the right time to be present there. Potentially, you are overlooked by the boss for the promotion you have been awaiting for so long, who sees you as a stressed out remote working parent. If any of this resonates with you, I would like you to type one in the comments. Meanwhile, Phil, I would like to share my presentation.
Yep, and start sharing. Okay, so while Ishita is sharing, I encourage the attendees or those who are watching live, you can put your comments or can type it on the comment section or chat. If you wish to have any questions, if you're on Zoom, you can click the raised hand option to interrupt if you have any questions, as it is very welcome. All right,
So,
your screen is
yeah,
visible.
yeah. Thank you so much, Phil. Uh, so I would like to ask you, where would you rather be? Imagine having a perfect balance between your work and home life. Picture beating all those targets and getting promoted. Visualize doing what took 8 hours in just four. Envisage what that would mean for your family when you are able to provide them with the quality time they had always been searching for and looking for in you as a parent. But how are you going to do this? You can do this by mastering the clock and making sure that you make each minute count, and by leveraging the right tools as your superpower. Why is it important is an important aspect of having a balanced work and life. So why is it important to you? Not only so that you can bridge the gap between career success and family well-being, but also so that you take each step towards a sustainable life. And also so that you can see all your kids first and witness all those precious moments in your life. I am Ishita Bhandari, and I am a mom of two and a full time remote working parent. I am a business development manager and manage hundreds of clients' accounts each day and bring in new business and also work on budgeting and negotiating with the new clients. When COVID hit, it derailed our life a lot. Pre-COVID, our lives were pretty much sorted, as then we would just go to the office, we'd get back to the kids, and we'd get back to our family, and then we used to just have our supper and go to sleep, and it was the same clock every day. So life was pretty much a clockwork back then. But after COVID, it was not the same. And even after COVID situation receded, remote work was here to stay, which brought in a lot of challenges that we had never envisioned. And thus, our Zoom meetings started looking more of this. I'm sure all the parents here would be able to relate to this. This has been the scenario I was dealing with each day. And since my job involves giving the clients daily updates, so I used to have weekly update calls with my clients. So, what happened one day is that I had a scheduled weekly call with one of my clients for providing the project's update. And I had to reschedule it because of the scenario that I just shared. And for because of rescheduling it for the second time in a row, I lost the client, and this was very disheartening for me because as is COVID situation had made it difficult to meet the targets. Being in a sales profile, it became even more difficult with such a situation that clients started going away due to absenteeism. So that was something I knew that I needed to figure out and have my way around it. So that is when having a balance in work and home life came into picture for me. That was the time I knew that I had to figure something out, and started pondering and dwelling of how other people were that were in my situation were doing it differently to manage all the things in a better manner. So I started uh, pondering and dwelling over others, and this led me to calendar management. Earlier, I used to think that calendar management is only for filling in the tasks that are related to your work commitments. But soon my myth got busted, and I learned that that is not how you fill in an effective calendar, because calendar has each hour of your life. So when you have each hour of your life at some place, how can you mark only the work commitments in that place? You should start it by marking your mains in that calendar first. So that was the rule of thumb I applied, and I started filling in my new calendar with the mains first, that is my family, my kids. And after that, I started figuring out the other aspects of my job that needed to be on calendar. And as you can see, this is how my calendar looked back then and how it looks now. So back then it was like I had clashed calls because the same calendar was connected to my work mail as well. So I would set up a call manually with the client, and one call would land from there as well. And this also led to consistent rescheduling of the calls. But then I had this figured out, and I had dedicated times for meetings, for the work related meetings with the and the calls with the team. So my calendar looks much prettier and much easy to abide by now. As I said, sustainability is really important. So I made sure that my calendar looks like something that I will be able to go by. And this is the first 5 hours of the day I have in my calendar. And there's a reason for having the calendar sorted only for 5 hours, and I'll be sharing the same in the webinar itself. So moving on, my friends would ask me that the way you manage things now and the way my calendar looks, they ask me, "Are you a superwoman?" So I'm here to share my secret sauce for that today. I'd like to ask another question. How many hours a day do you work? Or maybe, should I ask, how many hours a day do you actually work? I would like to take a moment for you to punch in your answers in the chat if you'd like to. Meanwhile, I'd like to share that this webinar contains 4 sections, that is time management, productivity, project management, and reporting. So back to the question. How many hours a day do you actually work? I used to think that we work 8 hours, 9 hours, and even 12 hours a day. So we never knew when the number of hours became the badge of honor. But then I came across a UK study which suggests something otherwise. It says that out of the 8 hours, we are productive only for 2 hours and 53 minutes a day. That is about 30% of our total workday. That is only 3 hours out of the total 8 hours we work in a day. So, how to plan the things to make most of this 3 hour slot is what productivity is about. So what I did is I started my planning my day according to the productivity slot. The first thing over here is how to figure this out. You need to make sure to figure the productivity slot so that you can um, arrange your deep focus and high brain power required tasks in this slot, and then you can move the other tasks to the other sections of the day, which is mostly a mix of peaks and valleys. And how I figured my productivity slot out was my elder daughter would leave the house for her school at 8 a.m., and my younger daughter is fast asleep after breakfast around 10 a.m. So that is when my productivity hours begin. And I have a chunk of 2 to 3 hours after that when I am able to work on the most complex tasks of my job. And this has made me work on the tasks much in a much more efficient manner. And not only this, but also it has helped me gain a control on my working schedule, as when the complex tasks and high brain power tasks are sorted in the first half of the day itself, I have flexibility when it comes to the later part of the day. And I can manage any unforeseen events as well in a much better manner. So, having said that, there are other tips for maximizing productivity as well. For example, you should, once you figure out the productivity slot, like if you are a morning person or an evening person or a night owl or something in between, once you have that figured out, make sure to align your breaks according to that productivity slot, because having frequent breaks is very essential for your mind and body to bring them back into momentum. Just take an example of your mobile phone. When the battery drains out, you charge it back, right? That is how your body also wants to charge back, and also does your brain too. Apart from this, you should avoid multitasking at all costs, because multitasking could lead you to be directionless, and the lost focus can cost you a lot, and even the productivity hours. Apart from that, you should avoid social media or any sort of distraction. I try to use focus mode on my phone so that my mobile device doesn't distract me by regular pings and notifications from apps like Facebook and Instagram, because I mostly log in them once a month. So I keep distractions at bay to have more focus on what is more essential, right? So I would like to conclude this section with a little story. So, in a bustling town, there was a watchmaker who used to craft very intricate and mesmerizingly beautiful watches. One day, a young boy approached him and asked him to take him under his wing, to which the old man agreed, and he started providing him the mentorship and guidance. The young boy would sit on his workbench each day, and he would fix the cogs and the gears very diligently and intricately. But soon his patience, it started giving up. So he would then work in haste, and he would try to be productive in his sense, because he would think that I would be able to make more watches this way. But due to the haste he applied while doing his work, he ignored the intricacy involved, and instead of being productive, he started repeating mistakes that would that made his creations far from perfect. So the old watchmaker saw his frustration and approached him, and he said that, "Hey, young boy, you are quite mistaken about productivity. Productivity isn't what you think, that it isn't about working hastily and completing the tasks um, in a haste. And we are heavily mistaken when we think input equals to output, while it is never so. Rather, Directed input equals to desired output. And that is what productivity is. After we have productivity sorted, we need to make sure we use the most valuable and also the scarcest resource available to us in the wisest manner possible, and that is time. So let's see some time management tips. How to achieve more in less. So these are some ways I manage my time more effectively in my daily routine. The first one would be checklists. Try to create checklists for the three most repetitive tasks at your job so that not only your brain power is utilized to the fullest, but also so that it doesn't get wasted on unnecessary sifting through the documents. And you can use Tango for this purpose. It's a very nice app when you can where you can use steps to finally create checklists. And apart from this, you need to create a daily and weekly task list so that you can manage your tasks in a more efficient manner, and so that you can shift the complex tasks to the higher productivity slot, the deep focus mode. And inbox management is another, has been a game changer for me, as earlier it took me quite a while when I used to sift through emails, but then I started using labels and nomenclature for my subjects at work emails. For example, as I work in an SEO agency, I mostly have client's name and the website name and the different categories of projects. So what I do is I create a nomenclature like client name, website name, and the category like SEO or social media, and what is the services that client is availing, and updates. And then I would write what is the update about in the body of the email, so that when I type in the name of the client, I'm able to see all the emails related to that client, which would help me in sifting through all the emails and going through all the emails. I can have everything at just one click. Using reminders is another great way we can manage time in a more effective manner. Have reminders for yourself and for your team on Mondays. And apart from that, I use reminders very strategically. And how do I do that is, when you have hundreds of clients to deal with each day, it is very natural to skip a beat. But I make sure that doesn't happen, and I do that by using reminders. When I allot a task, I add in a scheduled reminder email right beneath the original email, and I schedule it for the day of delivery, just 2 hours prior to the actual delivery time, so that in case any amends or any other information related is required, I have it all at the time of delivery. And last but not the least would be time blocking. For all the parents who are listening to me right now, this one is very essential for them, because I use time blocks so that I can have healthy meals for my kids and myself. I time block my morning routine and have some me time, and make sure to have no meetings in the time blocked for the deep focus work. And that is how I make use of this time efficiently. Apart from this, my role involves using reporting and project management tools, so that I can make sure that the two pillars of sales, that is communication and transparency, they are never affected by any means. So the project management systems that I use quite frequently are Slack, Trello, and Asana. Slack is my personal favorite and also the tool I use the most. Um, it is a very easy to use, hands-on project management system. It is a rather kind of Discord, but it's easy to use, and also it gives an option to have n number of channels in the workspace, wherein you can manage hundreds of clients through just one workspace, and you can mention and use threads, and you can also pin the messages, and it has a limit of 10,000 messages, which is quite amazing when it comes to having hundreds of projects as well, because most of the times we just need the recent messages when we have the reports and important messages pinned. Apart from that, if you are a Kanban board lover and you like drag drop features, then you can use Trello. And if you like task list format and you want to assign particular people a certain task, then Asana is the go-to tool for you. After making sure that I manage these relationships, I need to make sure that I provide value to the clients who have been investing in the services they opt my organization for. So for that purpose, I make sure to use these reporting tools. These are quite popular tools in use these days, and Semrush is my personal favorite because it not only helps me in reporting back to the clients, but it has helped me a lot till date while pitching to the clients because of the data it offers and the intricacy that it offers with the data. Because you can not only peek into the competitors' strategies through SEMrush, but you can also see which are the keywords they are targeting and which is the content they are getting the most traffic on and things like that, which is very intricate when it comes to crafting our own strategy. Apart from that, Google Analytics 4 is a very nice to have tool because it offers a great platform when we want to explore how the audience is reacting to what we are showing through them through our website. And Google Looker Studio is a kind of dynamic dashboard reporting tool, and we can use different integrations, like we can set up GA4 as a data source, and we can extract the data in the Looker Studio dashboard, which was also formerly known as Google Data Studio. And after we extract this data, we can share it with the client, and the client will be able to see the information just at the click. So these are some tools that I use, and these save me lots of hours in reporting back because I can see all the stats right in front of me, and I can report back to the clients through the project management systems that I just shared. So time for the pro tip for today. If uh, you want to save maximum time of your day, make sure to either delegate or automate. In my position, delegation was only possible up to a certain extent. So I chose automation. And how I automated my lead generation was when COVID hit, I saw that the smaller businesses, in a lieu to survive the change in market trends, they have started moving online. So, and also at the same time, I had to meet my work targets. So what I did was I crafted a strategy for the small business owners and started pitching them. And it was never into picture, but then this happened that the small business owners built a great referral network for me, and the word of mouth marketing helped me automate my lead generation by 25%, which saves me 2 to 3 hours of work each day from the last 4 years. So this is how I managed to build my inbound link building strategy. And this is the reason that I was able to scale my organization's workforce by sevenfold and was able to witness an impressive 80% client retention rate increases. And at the end, I would like you to take some key takeaways that you can apply right this minute. So I would like to repeat that find your deep focus slot and master the clock. Make sure you make every minute count and either automate or delegate. And my message to you would be a 95% and be okay with it and embrace all your imperfections. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Ishita, for a very insightful talk. So you have shared, like, I think that's a capsulized experience that you have given to this presentation. So it really shows how you
Thank
have
you.
been managing those. And yeah, in my point of view, it's the first time I've heard like mastering the clock. So
Yeah.
yes, thank you so much for that. That's my key takeaway. And just outside of the topic, like for those who are like not into the experience yet and aspiring to have remote like works or jobs, like do you have references that you can share to those, or yes, any ideas that you have?
I think, Phil, that most of the industry trends, as they state, uh, most of the jobs are moving to a remote model, as most of the people they are, denying to go back to the office, full-time office culture, because of the flexibility the remote work brings in. So, for as a reference, my reference would be having the skills that allow you to work remotely and working on the skills that can help you uh, find that remote job. And because there are n number of options available when we talk about the recent industry trends.
All right. Thank you so much for that insight. And yeah, we're open to questions if there are any from the attendees. And then while we are waiting, if you have any questions, you can type it on chat or open your mic while we are doing so. Do you have something to promote, Ishita? Any future engagements?
Nothing as of now, but I'll be really happy to connect with all of you on LinkedIn. And if you have any questions, I'll be happy to respond them on email as well.
Alrighty. So yes, and that's correct. Ishita is very responsive. You can connect on her on LinkedIn. Just search her name and you'll know her right on the spot. All right. So yes, we can park the questions. Just put it on chat. Shita will still be with us until the end of the hour, and then she'll be able to answer it on chat while we move forward for the next topic for today. All right. So thank you again, Ishita. Now, moving to the next topic is we have the day trading attention. So now, the topic is about the strategic and focused effort to capture and maintain the attention of your target audience through various online and offline channels. So, just like day traders in the financial market, individuals looking to build their personal brand need to be agile, responsive, and strategic in how they manage and cultivate their presence and reputation. And this topic is will be delivered by Sandy De Jesus, and he is a personal branding at guanomalus.com. Did I yes, I hope I've read that correctly.
You got it. You got it.
And also he is the CEO and the founder of Anomalous and a personal branding agency. and it has been running for 6 years. And also, he is a culture and a spirit coach. So he is a CEO of no, I'm sorry, a social media marketing space that specialized in industry leading design and communication innovation is what the company is all about. And also, he's a part time business development consultant specializing in being a competitive online brand and creating a powerful company culture based on leadership. And with the rest of the details about him, I'll give him the opportunity to share it. And here with us, Sandy, to give us the topic for today, which is day trading attention.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you so much. I really appreciate the introduction. And I just want to first say, Ashida's presentation was absolutely inspiring. I was just listening to it and I was going back and adjusting a few things. So, Ashida, thank you so much for that. That was really good. I want to focus on, making this presentation as practical and you know, have the most results for you guys as possible. So I want to start off by just giving you guys a little bit of background on me and the presentation so you guys know what to expect and kind of what is coming at your way. So I know that we're addressing a broad audience here. So I just want everybody to know that this is addressed a big, broad audience. And I also want you guys to know that in terms of my background and what I've been able to accomplish, I had a low income background. I feel like that's important in terms of different tools and strategies that we use. It's good to know what's working for who. And I believe the stuff that I've put together here is super practical stuff, the stuff that I've had to teach myself because my low income background has been super practical. And I think it's going to be super great for you guys as well. I also have an immigrant background as well. So this stuff works for just about anyone, I would say. This is honestly really great for people that have different or unique backgrounds because this is all about day trading attention. And what that means is really just leveraging the time that you do spend on a daily basis and making it more impactful. I know that we are also possibly addressing parents here as well. So honestly, again, this is great for that. And so I've learned to do a lot with a little. So a lot of this conversation is about creativity and turning what you have into what you need. We'll go into the conversation of moving in the first place. Like I've realized from now 7 years into just my personal development journey, trying to make more money, right? That's essentially the idea. Trying to make more money, trying to bring a more high quality life into reality. I've had to move and I've had to make adjustments. So first thing I want to teach you guys is even, finding out where you are. Being able to locate yourself is the first big step. Knowing where you want to go, number two, and then knowing how to get there, right? And if I could teach you and convince you to day trade attention, getting there by day trading attention, because day trading with attention is essentially using your personal brand to fly. It gives you wings. So essentially, I want to sell you guys on that strategy today. I think it'll result in a lot of great results for you guys, like it has for myself. So I'll go ahead into a presentation that I've put here to kind of visually guide everyone as well. So here it is. Can we all see that?
Yes.
So as I was putting together this presentation, I first think about the target, and this is essentially the target that was given to me and the target that we all are here discussing. But I believe this sums down and breaks down into the conversation of how to achieve more with less effort. A mental framework that I've learned, which a mental framework is a lens of how to look at where you are or what you're looking at. One that I've learned is that the map is not the territory. In this conversation of I'm a student and I don't have time, I'm a parent and I don't have time, anything you could say, fill in the blank, it's still an assumption that we're making from our own point of view. So we have to understand, well, how much do we actually know about what's going on? This is why every CEO, every personal development person works with another coach because they want to know exactly where they're at. And when you're going through life, you're emotionally attached to everything. So you might not actually know where you are. You might need to work with someone so that you know where you are. And then also, so you know how much effort you're actually putting in because your own perspective might not be enough. But it's good to just even know, right? Because you can't always work with someone that you have blind spots. So this is just a good first step, is understanding that we have blind spots. Let's gather as much information as possible to know where we are. And so this is self-auditing. I've built a six-figure agency. It took me about 2 years. I honestly think I could have done it way faster now looking back, obviously. But the reason why I think I've been able, why I think I could do it better, and the reason why I've been improving over all these years is because of self-auditing. So if you're a parent and you want more from life, right? Because which is one thing I think about, what you have may not be enough for you, but it might be more than enough for someone else. So this conversation, again, is just about moving. So as you're self-auditing and you're like, okay, where am I? Where am I actually? This is a great tool that everyone actually uses, regardless of where you are. So knowing where you're at, locating yourself, this is something that everyone does. So what do we need to do? Well, I would first highly recommend tracking your time. This is a point that Ashita also brought up as well. Tracking your time. Tracking your time. Why? Because we all earned our own realities, right? I have a lot of empathy for parents, especially parents that are trying to do better for their children. Much respect to everyone out here with a child or with any kind of leadership responsibilities in their family. Much respect to you for taking on all that responsibility and trying to grow more. But we have to look at this logically. Where are we? Because I want to just be told the truth, right? Especially if I'm paying for coaching, I want to know the truth. Just where am I and how do I get to where I'm at? Because I'm not going to give up regardless of how challenging this may be. So how did I get myself where I'm currently at? That's just good to know. This is a concept that I got from Dan Sullivan. Dan Sullivan is a business coach. For anyone that's trying to grow and become better, we're all studying smart people. This is one of the smart people I study. He's an author of over 50 books. Again, this is like, even me too, like I had to step out of where I was and what I thought about life. I was like, let me get out of my own way. Let me look at everything logically. How did I get myself to where I am? And what am I doing to self-sabotage so I can get what I want? Again, this is all creating more time so that you can day trade attention. Number two is, a continuation of the first one, really knowing where we're at, is tracking your results. What areas of my life do I really care about? This is a great exercise of identifying your core pillars. If I really care about spirituality, right? If I really care about, being physically fit, about my mental health, and then my financial health, those four areas, I can rate myself with my own intuition on how I'm doing in those areas, right? From here, now I know where I'm at. I know where I want to go. Ideally, everybody wants to just improve their important areas of your life. Now you've labeled them. Now you want to grow into them, right? Now it's again just good to know this information, and a great exercise, because again, this is information that I've collected to just pass on to you guys that I know works. This is an exercise that I got taken through with a leadership coach, and he got this information from Tony Robbins, and he paid like $100,000 to get this training. But one of the best gold nuggets I got was this exercise, right? So if I take my core values and I place them, and I place them on a wheel, let's say, right? My physical is at a 5, my spiritual is at an 8, and my mental is at a 5, my financial is at a 3. Imagine driving a car with this kind of wheel. It will be very bumpy, right? And so the idea is that a round wheel is balance. So as we're speaking about like work-life balance, what is balance? Smooth. Smooth is the fastest way to grow. I'm not speaking about perfect here, because even as parents, you guys know I'm not a parent. I don't have children yet. I have 2 cats. I have a niece. And my main child is my business. I put all of my time and all of my money into my business to grow that child. But in doing that, I know that smooth is the fastest way to go. Again, this is about balance, not perfection. So let's just get my physical to an 8, my spiritual to an 8, my mental to an 8, my financial to an 8, right? And so you may be thinking at this point, why are we speaking about this? When you're day trading attention, it's all about impact, right? When you only have 15 minutes a week, it's all about impact. How do I make those 15 minutes have the most impact as possible so that they can maybe turn into 20 minutes, so that I can make more money from the time that I'm investing and the time that I put in the first place? when you go to do these things, the reason why I say having a personal brand is like flying is because you have the gold nuggets inside of you to gain more leads, to have a better time marketing, to attract more opportunities. And it's all about how you communicate and the relationships you have with people. One thing I've learned from my own research is that wealthy people have conversations about stories at the dinner table, right? And wealthy people care about relationships. If I'm making a multi-million-dollar transaction with you, I want to know that you're okay. I want to know that you're a family person. I want to know about your core values because I know that when we run into $1 million problem, your character has my back, right? And so all this stuff is important to know because as you're investing time into your physical, into your spiritual, into your mental, and into your financial, all those areas to have a whole rounded life in your personal life, in your professional life, your relationship with your love partner, all these things. When you go and attract these opportunities because you're living in alignment, the decision makers that are going to pay and give you the check, they want to hear these things also. They want to hear these stories about how you're investing in these transformations. And I know that again, we're talking about you might not have too much time, but again, this is about with the time that you have, how can you make the biggest impact as possible? And I want to let you know that all the energy that you would be pouring into the strategy will also help you when you're having conversations with decision makers. And I speak from personal example. I've taken huge risks with the time that I've had. After I graduated high school, I was on this clock. I was like on this clock. I'm 25 now, and at the age, I'll turn 25 in a few days. At the age of 25, I've been able to have a six-figure business coming from an immigrant background and all these different things because I've been on like a clock. People speak about ambition. So you can constantly be growing and spreading out what you can do. I've invested so much of my time into these types of things, books, people, all these different things. And this is what I'm passing on to you. I've taken very big risks just even by starting a business, but it all pays off. You catch yourself, is what I'm saying here with this strategy. So smooth is the fastest way to go. Right. And as you're realizing that you want more or you're growing, you're about to go through a transformation, this is called pivoting. I've attended this in-person event where a bunch of millionaires were at, and the guy that organized this whole event was such a gangster about how he did it. And I know that he made a bunch of money because of it, because of how he did it. And one of the things he mentioned when he was on stage is the importance of pivoting. When I speak about leadership, when I speak about parenting, when I speak about being a business owner, it's basically the same thing. As a parent, if something happens, you need to learn how to pivot. As a business owner, when something breaks, you got to learn how to pivot. So again, this conversation is about how do I make moves? How do I actually make the moves in my network, in my financial space? Like, how do I actually make those transformations with the time that I have? And again, it's how much time am I putting in? How much more do I want? And what do I need to adjust in my life? Like, what do I need to do a little bit differently in my life? And as we're getting clear on the target that we're trying to hit, numbers are really, really important because we're dealing with cash flow. If I know I'm spending an hour a week on this thing, and I'm going to speak from, I guess, from a higher level perspective, because as a business owner, I see into a lot of different branches. So you might not be in the sales window, but regardless, this can still apply to you because these are just, you can just track different information. But if I know I'm spending an hour a week on this to, let's say, I'm generate leads or hop on more calls, how many calls am I hopping on, right? And if I'm going to put an effort of 30 minutes on content a month, how much more calls do I want to hop on a week? If I'm already getting 4 a month, I'm going to put an extra 30 minutes. So I'm sacrificing these 30 minutes. Or let's say I'm spending $30. I want to now hop on 6 calls or 8 calls, right? It's just good to have all these numbers and track it down, especially if we're dealing with limited resources. And so that's kind of like the mental steps. Track your time, track your results. The next step I would say is track your VIPs. Money flows like water, opportunities flow like water, and they typically flow through people. And so you need to track your VIPs. Many CRMs are used in business, but even if you're working for this business, you should have your own CRM. I did this even, when I was just getting started, I didn't really even know that I wanted to be a business owner. I had all my most valuable friends on a CRM with their birthdays, when I wanted to see them again, all these different things, because it's all about relationships. So the first thing I would recommend to you is a CRM. You can make this for free. You can go on Google Sheets, you can go on money.com, whatever. You can, but essentially you can do it for free. And I would track the name of the person, the industry that they're in, last contact, next time I'm going to contact them, all these different things. I would say definitely take a picture, but we can also make this presentation available afterwards. After that, what I would say is using this software. This is the software that I currently use to map my ideas, right? As I'm tracking the information of, okay, how much time am I putting in? What are the results that I'm getting? You know, what business am I in? What am I going through? What do I need to do to go from a 5 in physical to an 8 in physical, right? These are all good things to track. And, you know, if you're not using a journal is not digital. This is digital. Whimsical, I believe, is also free for the first 30 actions. So, for example, making a post-it is one action. So you can imagine it would last you a while. Understand that you're growing. Some investments might need to be taken. If you don't have money, you need to put in time. So again, that's why you got to track your time. How much time am I putting in and what am I resulting? What do I want? What do I need to adjust? This is a great software to track all that information, all of your strategies, all that stuff being put in one place. Because, and then I put it down here, while you're working on your business, you need to come up with the big moves, right? With the big moves to get you to make more, this much more money and this much more time. You start plugging it in like a formula and you can track all these moves on a whimsical board. You need to understand that you are growing from a reality of no balance to a reality with balance. And that takes awareness and surrender. I need to know where I am, and then I need to surrender to my strategy. I need to prioritize. If I said that I was going to do this and it's hard, I need to sacrifice. I need to surrender to the new reality that I'm trying to manifest because I am trying to change. Some people, you know, they say they want more sales or they want more relationships, but then they get that text about the networking event. And then all of a sudden they're too scared to go, or they're coming up with excuses, or they're too tired. So you have to surrender to that strategy. Because, for example, if one of your core pillars is integrity, and you're like, man, I have to be, you know, I have to hold integrity to myself. And I said that I was going to attend this networking event because I want this much more from my life. And this is one of the action steps that I gave myself because I mapped it on Whimsical. See, it all comes together. This is the step that I need to take, because when you're dealing with limited time, you might also be dealing with a lot of pressure as a leader too. That you need clarity. You need clarity. I tell people that success is clarity. Success is clarity. Like the people that are successful, they're relaxed and they're peaceful because they have clarity. So how do you create clarity with limited time? This is how I do it. Right. Takes awareness to surrender. Know where you are and surrender to the next big move, which is essentially what I just said. And then the next steps after this, which would essentially be, you know, day trading attention. And the reason why I put this at the end is because day trading attention is a limitless conversation. Day trading attention is about networking. How many relationships can you have? That's on an infinite. How many followers can you have? That's on an infinite. How many connections can you have on LinkedIn? That's on an infinite. How do you make time to actually go on that path? That's what we just went over. But the next steps would be, you know, how do I use my personal brand to make my next big move? Let's say I carved out, or my next strategy, my next big move is to sell more of this, or get on a show and with this person on a podcast, right? How do I use my personal brand to do that? Is it sending a message? Is it posting content? Fill in the blank. Number two would be taking my industry, my business plan. You know, how do I generate leads? Again, this is, you know, kind of what I just said. And then how do I make more? This is you looking at your sales process. This is you looking at the sales software that you use. This is you creating a new product or a new package. You know, I do this constantly, which is again why I wanted to teach you how to be creative and how to move, because even me with my business and where we've come, we still do this. We're still pivoting. So this is something that you can use on a daily basis. I hope this is a tool you put on your tool belt. And when you feel lost and you don't know what to do, you go, wait a second, I know how to move. Let me pull out Sandy's framework and map myself. Let me figure out where I am. And using your personal brand at Day Trade Attention, now you have time to actually, you know, brand yourself, get more leads, hop on more calls. Eventually it goes from a conversation of, well, I might need to create my own business because my full-time job isn't making me enough money. I would highly recommend that most of you, if you do have kids, think about what you pursuing your dreams and never giving up would do to your child. I can personally say, from my own biased opinion, that as a child of an immigrant family, what I really appreciated was that my mom took a jump from coming to from the Dominican Republic to the U.S. She believed in herself. She took the jump. She also started her own business in a daycare business. So watching all that was really what showed me in my head, I have nothing to worry about. I'm going to put my mind to it. And it didn't matter whether that would have been college or whatever. I knew that I was going to be great. So if you're raising children and you're thinking about how do I make the most of my time, grow your, show your children by example, lead by example, invest time in your passions and your interests, invest time in what you want to accomplish. And now you can't say you can't, because now you have the strategy right here in front of you. You figure out where you are, where do you want to go, and what do you need to do to get there. Use a personal brand to make it easier, tell stories, be vulnerable on social media, like really get people to believe in you. When you have a best friend, that person is being vulnerable with you, right? Be vulnerable with your audience, give them a little information, let them in. And then your personal brand will make it a lot easier. And you just scale from there. This is literally the beginning of the conversation. How do I day trade attention? I just showed you how to carve out time. And then day trading attention, you just keep doing this process to invest more and more time into your personal brand, more videos, more content, hiring an assistant, growing a team. You take your core values all the way. Like, the list goes on and on and on, but I promise you that this is a framework that you will use regardless of what level you're at. So if you haven't heard this before, I would say study this, try it. And again, I commend you for all the effort that you're doing. I really appreciate it. I can speak personally from just watching the leaders in my life. So this would be it. Honestly, this is my presentation. I would say if you have any questions on starting a personal brand, I have a video here. If you guys search up I'm Super Sandy on YouTube, I created a 17-minute video of 10 questions you should ask yourself when you're creating a personal brand. So this is it right here. I have a lot of assets on YouTube. And I would say if you're ready for a transformation, but you want more of a push and more of a community environment, I also have a group experience that I'd like to talk to you about. If you head over to gonomeless.com/basement, you'll see what I mean. But yeah, that's it. That's all I have for you. And I hope that you guys take it and it works and you become happier, healthier, and more financially free. That's it.
Fantastic. Wow, that's quite a lot to absorb, but definitely it's worth it. So thank you so much for giving that such knowledge and impactful information for this topic that you have given. So the effort is really appreciated. Thank you so much, really, Sandy. And yeah, so for those who are watching, you can visit Sandy's YouTube as well. For those for more of this type of informations that yeah you will be needing or will be very helpful for you. So aside from those YouTube links and your website, anything you are working right now or any online engagements you'd like to promote?
Well, I would say, check out the assets that I've created for you because, they're there to give you that support. But anything else I would recommend is just if you want to reach out to me and have a conversation, reach out to me on LinkedIn, on Instagram. Sandy the Jesus is what I am on LinkedIn. And then on Instagram, it's I'm Super Sandy. So that's what I would say.
All right, that's perfect then. Well, would like to invite questions if there are any before we end today's session. So that's really fantastic, though.
Can I ask Ashita a
Short,
question?
yes.
I would love to ask Ashita a question. So, Ashita, because again, like I said, I'm not a parent, but I would love to hear from you. As a parent, you know, what are you thinking about when you're putting so much effort into growing? Like, do you think about how that's affecting them? And because I know it can't be easy, but how do you motivate yourself to keep going?
The reason for my motivation have always been my family and my kids, Sandy. So that is what keeps me motivated each day. And since I have two daughters, I always uh, wake up with the thought that I have to set an example so that they can see for themselves that If they work harder and smarter, they'll be able to, live a life they would be satisfied with and have no regrets with. So that is what keeps me motivated every day.
Beautiful. I love that. Well, thank you so much, Rashida. I really appreciate that. And Phil, thank you so much for today. I do have to jump. I have another call I have to jump onto, but thank you so much for today. I really appreciate you guys putting this together. And Rashida, thank you so much.
And yes, thank you so much, Ishita and Sandy. Thank you for the effort and the experience you have shared in this today's webinar, and it's really appreciated. So we'll just communicate further offline if there are any other matters that we will talk about. All right. So again, thank you so much for joining today's webinar. And yes, I hate to say it, but we have to say goodbye for now. But we are inviting you again next Wednesday, same time, for two new topics and two new guest speakers. So see you around, everyone, and take care as always.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Andy. Thank you so much, Phil.
Thank you, Ishita.